Well, this morning I don't feel marvelous. Do not feel marvelous. Not at all. I look marvelous. I just don't feel marvelous. Actually, I went to work yesterday, and I decided I'm gonna try working with all my knee brace. And it actually worked out pretty well. But the only problem is that um, when I went to bed last night, well, this morning, the knee pain was pretty bad. So I think from now on, I'm going to be wearing my knee brace until I can get a solution. Well, you got to lose weight. That's, of course, I got to do my own plank challenge, right? And I got to start doing that. And like I said, if I reach 1,000 subscribers by, I don't know, not by any kind of deadline or anything, basically, just uh, basically, I will do anything for anybody, maybe take them to the Dells or maybe a Brewer game, Packer game, maybe. Be nice if we get a Packer game going. But let's see. So, anyways, I was, I said, I was camping last week or something, and we're all sitting around talking, and we're going reminiscing about the old wrestling days. And when I say wrestling days, I'm talking WWE versus WCW, which is a great Monday Night War thing going on, and that was a lot of fun. And so I'm kind of wondering, is AEW going to do that with? I don't think they really need to actually. I think they just need to do separate things. One's on Wednesday night, right? And I believe WWE's on Monday night and Friday nights. So I really don't think they need to go to war with each other. Honestly, um, that's different from when WCW had it because Vince or Eric Bischoff, he really wanted to go to war against um, WWF. At the time, it was WWF. Can't talk. WWF. Yeah, and originally because I remember when Ted Turner originally bought WCW, he was calling Vince McMahon to get advice from him, saying yeah, I just bought this new company. Do you have any advice about how to run the stuff? And Vince McMahon told him a little bit about the business, and which I think he really wishes that he didn't give him any kind of advice because all of a sudden Ted Turner was okay, I'm gonna go after Vince McMahon, and it's what? Why? Why would you do that? Just by being a jerk, I don't know. Well, also I think Eric Bischoff really truly believed that he could run a business better than anyone in the country. And for the most part, he actually could. He was very smart, in that sense. But I think he bit off more than he could chew, and it may cost him in the end. Anyway, so got me thinking. I remember some of the old gimmicks that mostly WWF came out with that were just horrible. Um, so I'm gonna do a list of probably break it up to a four-part section. But remember Damien Demento? That was the first attempt to doing a vampire type wrestler, and I didn't. I honestly don't remember him that much, but I just remember didn't last very long. I think he wrestled the Undertaker actually, and that was never good for anybody. And then when Draws came out with puke, remember that you puke on command, type thing. And it's what what sense of wrestling is that going to help you unless you're getting beat and you're getting beat so bad that you all of a sudden on command like puke. It's like, okay, I don't even know why you think that fans would be like, okay, I'm here to watch that guy throw up. Yeah, and it's like, no, I would never. I want to pay money to like see that. It's like I can see that in a bar, late at night, waiting for like some guy like binge drinking. I want to watch that guy puke. I mean, I don't even want to watch that. I mean, why would you ever want to watch anyone puke? Anyway, yeah, Papa Shango. I originally liked Papa Shango, and then he went on to like had a great career as the good father. Well, the good father too. He was originally the Godfather, and then Steve Richards, uh, the right to censor, and he was like turned him into the good father. So that was kind of a interesting gimmick too. Um, Papa Shango, like he was interesting. Like I remember, like one day he put a curse on the Ultimate Warrior, and the Ultimate Warrior started bleeding black, oozing like out of his forehead, and it's like that was actually interesting. I don't know, but then where do you go with it though? That's the problem. It's like you only do so much with it, and yeah, I thought um, Papa Shango was actually kind of a neat gimmick, but apparently didn't work, and the creative minds of the WWF said we're going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to redo this. And then the fake Diesel, which ultimately that was the guy who ultimately played Kane. And what was really funny was I actually realized it was Kane when looking at his biceps because I remember seeing the original fake Kane come out, and I was like, I'm sorry, the fake Diesel. We'll talk about the fake Kane later. Um, the fake Diesel, played by the guy who played Kane, Glenn Jacobs, and his biceps were so massive. I'm like, wait a minute, looking at Kane's like bicep, he reminds me of the fake Diesel, and I looked it up. I'm like, oh wow, sure enough, that's the same guy. That's how I figured it out originally because of his bicep. It was so amazing. And Mortis on WCW came up with a guy named Mortis, played by Chris Canyon, and that obviously didn't work too well for them either, and just did not last. Um, oh, and then Mordecai, in my opinion, that was the original fake Razor Ramon because he had the crucifix power bomb type thing, and I it was an interesting character because I don't even know why they gave up on it too soon. Maybe because of the fact that his finishing move was Razor Ramon back in the day, and the fans were kind of mocking it. And I think that's why they just said, "Yeah, we're going to go back to the drawing board on this because the fans are mocking him doing the the fake Razor, or not the fake, the Razor Ramon finishing move." Um, so that has to be the only thing that I can think of because he did one pay per view, and it was pretty much like without any explanation, he was just gone, and it was like, what? He was played by Kevin Thorne. Um, yeah, I really think they gave up too soon on that, but the Kiss Demon or WCW did Kiss Demon that was supposed to be, and I don't know if they're doing it in the primary there. Um, it corresponds to Kiss, like promoting the Kiss tour, at that time, and they also had pictures of him with the original, like, the real Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. Yeah, I just don't know. It was interesting, you know. Then, well, the Spirit Squad. That was a neat little gimmick, you know. Of course, I didn't like the only thing I did not like about it was that if the whole Spirit Squad was considered five guys, and if one of them became the tag team champions, they're all the tag team champions. It's like that did not make any sense at all. And I think that's what Vince McMahon was trying to go with at the time was like, I mean, the one good thing that I remember the Spirit Squad created was the you know, reunited DX because remember like they're on the process of like basically destroying Triple H's like career. Like they're all beating him up, and then Shawn Michaels came out, saved them, and recreated DX, which that was I thought that was awesome. That's what they needed. That's what they needed because they needed something to like boost reality, boost um, the ratings, and boost fan like support. And that's to me, bringing back the original members of DX is exactly what they needed because I don't think the ratings were down, but it was like it really wasn't catching my interest until that happened. I was like, yeah, DX. Um, oh, Tugboat, who back in the '80s, you know, he was always portrayed as the ultimate good guy. That like basically because the tugboat, you know, obviously is the one that pulls like the ocean liners when they're stranded. And that's what the tugboat job was to do that, and that's what he was. I mean, he was dressed kind of goofy as a sailor, and I mean, '80s gimmicks. Of course, I was 17 back then, so I didn't really like care that much. And I was like, oh, it's a big guy. It's a big guy. So that's of course what Vince McMahon likes is the big wrestlers. Me, I like the athletic, strong, small guys like Shawn Michaels, you know, and how athletic those guys are. But because the aerial acrobats that some of those guys can do is just phenomenal. Hence the phenomenal AJ Styles. But I don't think we'll get that gimmick because that's not gimmick because that's his real name basically. Well, based on his real name, and he is phenomenal. Um, the Berserker, one of the original Vikings that WWF had back in the day, and basically he was a heel, and he was just I think he was like managed by Mr. Fuji, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day, and I think he was going against the British Bulldog, if I remember. Um, but he was a weird gimmick. Yeah, but I mean, I think he's a big guy again, you know, that does help. And oh, the Red Rooster, like I don't know if that was like, I mean the storyline was that he was created by Bobby Heenan, but we all know that Vince McMahon really would have created that for whatever reason. Um, but because he walked around the ring and like Well, then he turned on Bobby Heenan and became a face, and he like get the crowd going by like squawking like a rooster, and got the crowd going. Actually, like the crowd would be like cock-a-doodle, or whatever the rooster sound makes. Um, that was actually very very weird. Um, then Quang, and I was so like I didn't know much about Quang when he was in the mask and stuff, and then he's supposed to be a martial artist from the Middle East, right? And he's portrayed by a Puerto Rican, Savio Vega, and it's like, what? That's kind of racist, man. I'm like, shit, in my opinion. But then, and he was one of the original like spew of mist. You know how uh, who's that? Asuka does that nowadays. You know, spews mist in like people's faces. Well, that's what Quang was. You know, back in the day before he became face. I do remember that he became face and was going against. Oh no, I think it was when he was heel. He was going against Adam Bomb, and I remember one of the matches between him and the Undertaker. You know, it was the greatest moment ever, where like he like spews the green mist into the Undertaker's face, right? All of a sudden, the Undertaker like throws his hair back, and all of a sudden spits it right back in his face. I was like, wow, that was the best ever, man. That was wow, awesome, man. Man, those are matches that just I love to watch because it's like you know basically expect the unexpected. That's what happened. Um, oh, and then No Way Jose. I actually enjoyed it. I don't know again what happened. I don't know if it's like maybe his wrestling abilities didn't feel up to par or something. Because it was a basically a gimmick that was reestablished in the Adam Rose things where you have a party of people with you that's entourage type thing, you know, going around dancing with you, and it was kind of like what Adam Rose did, and that was I thought that was actually pretty interesting. I don't know what you get the crowd going and like they're like yeah, you know, like of course the name though, No Way Jose. It's like, can you come up with a better name of that? You know, this is the if I remember it was like 2018 or something, or maybe like around that time. I remember he battled Baron Corbin, and it's like so I don't know. After that, he just kind of disappeared a little bit. So I don't know. What else we got? Master Blaster, played by Kevin Nash before Nash was Nash. Before he was even Diesel. But I think it was before. After. I think that was even before. Sorry. Vinny Vegas. Remember that was one of Kevin Nash's characters. Um, yeah, so I don't know. That was just kind of a weird little gimmick. Um, Vladimir Kozlov. I thought he was a powerhouse. I mean, he was like the Russian guy, then became face and became friends with Santino, and they formed that little dancing. Um, well, they became face because he was in a dance competition with Santino, and he won. Got the crowd going, and they loved it. And he's a powerhouse, and then also turns out, hey, the guy was like a funny guy too. Uh, I don't know what happened with it because I don't think they gave it up too soon because he was there for like a couple years at least, and did like I thought he did pretty well. I don't know. I'm not in the mind of like any WWE official. Um, Certainly not in the mind of Vince McMahon. But I just don't get it. I really don't. But he was. I thought he was entertaining. I thought he was. Please leave comments down below. Let me know like what you guys think. Um. Oh, the artist Prince Ikea. Remember that? That was like right around the time that Prince came with a symbol for artist formerly known as Prince. To avoid lawsuit with WB, I think, Warner Brothers Records, and so this wrestler came out as that, and he was pretty athletic, and but the gimmick is just so like I don't know if they're trying to play off of that, like I said, the artist formerly known as Prince type thing, and then I don't know. Again, I just don't run the mind of the people. Um, so, anyways, Heidenreich. I thought again, going back to the big guys. I I thought Heidenreich was kind of like a schizophrenic guy who like was uncontrollable. And basically, I remember like, they actually forced him to like be in shackles before his matches. I remember that. I don't remember who was GM back then, but they're like going, okay, we got to put the shackles on you, lead you to the ring, then you can take the shackles off and wrestle, and then put them back on. And it's like it's almost like a Michael Myers type thing. Like, hey, Michael, we got to put on shackles on you before you go trick or treating. You know, it's just that's what it kind of reminded me of. Remember he terrified Michael Cole in the back, in the in the back, and Michael Cole was like really scared because you just didn't know what was going to happen with the guy. The guy'd be like, "Hey, how you doing, friend?" Because I remember Heinrich always wanted to be your friend, and that was part of his gimmick. It was like, "You want to be my friend? You be my friend, right? I'll be your friend." Like the kid that always wanted friends, and like it's kind of like of mice and men, like the the bigger guy, like basically didn't really know what was going on in his mind, and ended up killing the girls by accident. No, the wife. I'm sorry, got the movies confused. He killed the wife of like the farmers owned the farm, and that's what kind of like Heinrich is. He's like doesn't really understand what's going on. He's just basically like not really the capacity of a normal person. He just basically wants to be your friend, and if you're not going to be his friend, he's going to beat you up in the ring or in the back office with Michael Cole. Either way. Um, like remember when Bob Holly came over that Thurman Sparky plug, and he was like, and this is something I did not know that he was legitimately a race car driver. Like I don't think he got a NASCAR or anything, but he was actually a race car driver, and they basically used that um, angle to like um, put him as WWF's first two-sport athlete, because obviously, like NASCAR is an athlete. You know, anyone tells me that they're not athletes, they're liars. They're liars because they're in really good shape. Um, but the Thurman Sparky plug thing just didn't work out. I mean, later he became like Spark Plug Bob Holly, and then basically Hardcore Holly. That's what we all know him as, right? Um, then the Booty Man, and basically Brutus Rubbery Beefcake turned on Hulk Hogan and became the Butcher. He also like developed another character called the Booty Man, basically kind of like kind of like the Disco Inferno, which I think hopefully we're gonna talk about that in the next parts of the video. Um, and Relic, I gotta tell you, I actually love that guy because his story actually, he was like a bouncer at some club like down south somewhere, and basically he was working in the gym that was um, owned by Lex Luger and Sting, and so he was working out there, and actually Diamond Page was there, and he encouraged him to like try out for wrestling. So he did, and did pretty well, obviously, because he ended up becoming going to WWE um, as Johnny Stamboli, and he was one of the full blood Italians, which was a good like faction actually. Again, I don't know what some of these factions just I don't know if they run their course and like I don't know how they judge characters' reactions. I mean, not characters, like fan reactions, because it's like obviously when what was his name the Mordecai character came out and like the reaction was he's mocking Mordecai by comparing him with Razor Ramon, and I'm guessing that's the reason why they got rid of it. I don't think it's any kind of religious thing. And the fake Razor Ramon, that was he really didn't even look anything really like him. I mean, Glenn Jacobs as Kane. I mean, Glenn Jacobs as the fake Diesel. They actually looked a little, not even that much either, but better than the fake Razor Ramon. That guy was horrible. And then he passed away, rest his soul. Um, all Razor Ramones did. You know, rest his soul, the real Razor Ramon. Scott Hall, rest in peace, brother. Oh, then Adam Rose. And we talked about No Way Jose. Adam Rose was the original one that had the rosebuds, the entourage that always followed him to the ring. And I thought, and I did not know this, but one of the rosebuds was Braun Strowman. That's actually like, and I went back and I looked at old footage. I'm like, holy crap, that is Braun Strowman. Wow, yeah. I mean, that right there alone was like just. Could you imagine him being in the bunny suit? One of the '80s wrestlers, Skinner, and I believe he went on to be um, Repo Man, and probably talk about that character in part two. Um, Skinner was interesting because he would like steal like Damien, the snake of Jake the Snake Roberts, and like go, I'm gonna skin this snake alive, and I'm gonna. And they show him coming emerging from the water and like holding an alligator. I'm like, fake or not. That's pretty awesome, actually. Like he comes out, emerges out of the water, like holding an alligator. I'm like, wow. But the character, I don't know. Again, it must be the fan reactions or something, or maybe the animal rights activists said like, hey, he's skinning things alive, and we don't like that. And I just don't remember. I do not remember anything about that. Oh, and then when they made Dusty Rhodes and the polka dot Dusty Rhodes, I thought that's crossing the line. I mean, of course, maybe Vince McMahon was actually like thinking ahead because the fan reaction to that was actually like he's still the American dream. It's like basically polka dot or not, that is the American dream, Dusty Rhodes. It's like you can put him in like um, warning tapes, or you can put him in like basically any kind of suit, and I think the fans would love it. It doesn't matter what you do to Dusty Rhodes because he is still Dusty Rhodes. When basically push comes to shove, he is still going to be Dusty Rhodes in the eyes of the fans. And that, well, I don't want to get off subject here, but that's the other thing that's kind of weird about I really liked Goldust when I found out that he was played by his son, um, Dustin Dustin Rhodes, and I was like, really? That's Goldust? I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. So then I started like following Goldust more because at first I really didn't like look at him as. I mean, the character Goldust I thought was interesting because basically he had those finishing moves like the curtain call, and in this production was a 24 karat, or yeah, um 24 gold carat productions, or and people can help me out because I don't remember exactly what how Goldust ever came out, but Goldust actually was an interesting gimmick. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to talk about them later in like part 3 or 4 because I don't think I'm going to talk about it in part 2. Of course, I'm talking about it now, but um, but polka dot Dusty Rhodes. I mean, like I said, I don't care what you dress that guy as. He is still going to be Dusty Rhodes. Um, anyways, oh, and Max Moon, he was an interesting character because it's kind of like Rey Mysterio went to space one day. Even though he's not as athletic as Rey Mysterio, but he could be. He could have been. Um, but I thought the gimmick of Max Moon was like, excuse me, but over the moon. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Obviously, it didn't work because he's not around anymore. Didn't last very long. But again, that's the mindsets of like WWE. I know that Vince McMahon has the ultimate stay no matter what you're going to be doing. It's like, which actually reminds me of a funny story. Sorry about for sure. He was telling Vince, he goes, "I got a great idea for a religious character named Brother Love, like a preacher type thing." And Vince McMahon goes, "That's a great idea. You hey, go find me somebody, and we'll create that character." All of a sudden, Bruce is like, yeah, me, I want to do it. And Vince is like, you know what? I like it. And so, yeah, that's what Brother Love was created, and basically helped develop the Undertaker actually because he was one of the original creative minds to like help develop the Undertaker when he first got to WWF. They needed somebody to like to be with him, and so they put him with Bruce Pritchard, and the original manager of the Undertaker was Brother Love. Then Brother Love like passed it on to Paul Bearer, um, and so that was a strong creative decision by like Pritchard and all of WWE putting the Undertaker with Paul Bearer, and it also encouraging them to like have that high pitched squeal, like oh yes, like it, thought that was like a great creative character. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, comment down below, and if it was your like worst gimmick, like I'm kind of curious because I just named about like 25, but I need really like look at that and like think about those are the 25 that I can think of. Um, I'm just curious what you guys think. Then, like I said, put them in the comments below. Um, please subscribe, and then all right, I will talk to you guys later. And I realize I've just been like almost 37 minutes like talking about nonsense, or not. Well, not nonsense because we all enjoy wrestling. It's pretty much our escape from reality. It really is. It's kind of like some people have the comedy movies, the action comedy movies. There's some people that just want to tune on Monday nights and watch wrestling. All right. Oh my God, I'm almost going on. I'm going to go 38 minutes. God dang it, I gotta stop talking. All right. Anyways, like I said, 1,000 likes or 1,000 subscribers by whenever, and then all right. Thanks for tuning in. All right.